Hey guys, Detective Fail here, or DF for short. Hope you're doing well. Back with another review, this time on Fire Emblem Warriors, Three Hopes. I never thought I would return to Three Hopes after completing one route, since I was so burned out after finishing one path. But here I am after completing two others, and I have to say, Three Hopes is a welcome return to the continent of Fodlan, seeing familiar and new faces among the Three Houses crowd. Battling enemies in the usual turn-based engagements? Nope. Three Hopes operates as a hack and slash RPG, more specifically, the Muso-like kind. You also control a new protagonist, Shez, a run-of-the-mill mercenary with strange abilities. It'll be up to you to choose which house to ally with. Like in the previous game, Three Hopes also features three main routes to play through. This review was only possible after I finished all of them, since I felt making a review when I had only beaten one path didn't sit well with me. Anyway, let's begin. Gameplay is a major shift from the turn-based nature of Fire Emblem. Here, you'll be fighting in a Muso-like gameplay of hack and slash. Elements from the franchise are integrated relatively well, using terminology from the series and implementing different unit classes, having a variety of different professions from Lancer, Axe, Sword, Bow, Brawler, and Mage. Each main weapon class leads to different classes and different abilities. There is even an element of base building for your base camp, which provides a nice way to upgrade your equipment and more. The game is pretty much what if Fire Emblem is a hack and slash? A weird thought, but strangely enough, it works here to some extent. For the most part, I love the change in gameplay to an action hack and slash compared to a turn-based game. You get right into the thick of things by decimating countless mobs and eliminating your enemies up close and personal. Didn't feel bored utilizing different abilities and units to keep battles fresh. There is impact, and it never gets old commanding your allied units for an all-out offensive. The feeling is euphoric, and it is awesome watching your army mow down the baddies right alongside you. However, the same objectives and S rank requirements got old real quick since you cannot innovate much to keep the battles fresh constantly. Side quests and paralogs in particular do try to reinvent the wheel in some way, yet they still conform back to the old formula of killing X number of units within a time limit, defeating X number of units. Oh, wait, extra reinforcements? Oh, here. Complete this side mission while you go into battle. Artillery firing at your units? Please eliminate. Enemy forces calling for reinforcements? Stop them from executing an action. Here are some new reinforcements to add to the battle for you to tackle and defend your bases. Oh, you thought the main story quest ends? No way, here's another enemy you have to defeat. This formula becomes tiresome to complete again and again. And when you thought you killed an enemy, psych! I'm going to retreat until the plot forces me to die. Sure, there are several approaches in store for you like escorts, special type monsters, conquering key strongholds to move closer to your map, etc. But it is not enough. I feel the game could have been more innovative to keep the combat formula from being dull. It's fine in the beginning and middle acts, but once you do a lot of missions, and trust me, I finished all paralogs in one route, every single thing I could fight on the map, extra side quests, extra limited time quests to complete, skipped several in the end due to realizing they offer no real benefit to me, but for the most part I'd say 95 to 98% of all missions I completed for the Black Eagle route. I skipped the filler battles in the other routes using a Vanguard whistle, which is an absolute godsend. You don't need to fight every battle. By using the whistle, It allows the player to auto-complete a filler battle on the world map, thereby skipping the process instantly. Why the heck wasn't this item available in your first route? Honestly, would have helped lessen the tedium and rinse and repeat battles. Granted, I get it is a Muso Fire Emblem, so I can't expect great expectations. But it would have been nice to have a stellar Muso-like game that knocks all areas out of the ballpark. And for me, I feel the element of reusing the same objectives, the same maps, and enemies being the same could have been done better. Two enemies in particular are reused more than several times. This becomes especially egregious when reinforcements are the same enemy types with no real distinct unique features to differentiate them. Same enemy combat class again and again. The artificial intelligence, for comrades at least, is decent, but could be better. Many times during a battle I had to micromanage units to attack an enemy. Then once they were done, my ally will sit in that same spot, even when I have them set to attack. Orders would have been nice for them to follow through. For example, after defeating an enemy, move to a nearby enemy commander. If a player-controlled unit falls below 50% health, tell the healer to heal them. Prioritize map objectives over killing a single enemy, and etc. Continuing on with S-rank requirements, I feel there is a missed opportunity to do extra, like erasing the whole concept of S-rank and only set different requirements, such as manage 500 hits, use X number of warrior specials, cannot use a single healing item during battle, no dodging, no switching to a different unit, female or male characters only for this map, use a single unit only, use certain classes only, fight with only disadvantaged units, and so much more I could list. Heck, the handicap battles you fight in each chapter, the developers could have taken these handicap battles and implemented some of those for S-rank requirements. Instead, we are left with killing X number of units by X time while taking X% of damage. One thing that I immensely enjoyed was strategies. At the end of a chapter, you will have to face the final chapter battle, and it is here and only in this battle can you implement strategies. Various parameters can weaken the enemy, from giving your army reinforcements, allies to heal, units to protect, or special units to advance on the enemy. Magic bombardment, special formations, and unique types I won't get into because that's spoiler territory. But suffice it to say, I was very satisfied with how the developers implemented strategies to work in favor to spice up every final story battle in a chapter. These parameters you can activate greatly turn the tide of battle and can lead to one of Fire Emblem's aspects of making a unit join you. Some strategies can even be unlocked by completing filler battles on the world map, so it pays to finish everything on a map to unlock more strategies. Moving on, support conversations are such a relief and a delight to see the Three Houses cast again, which expands and greatly answers some lingering questions I had in the past game. And while this entry is contained in an alternate timeline, pretty much all support conversations I've seen are an extension of what occurred in Three Houses, or in some cases provide much needed context into a character's background or relationship with other characters. It's one of the biggest backbones the game has to offer, and I laughed so hard in one conversation, amused in some, puzzled in others, gained much needed insight into the relationships and backgrounds of characters I rarely use, and broke a smile during moments of wholesome and endearing moments. The game also had plenty of quality of life enhancements, like fast traveling to any unit, location, and building, making it easy to get to the unit you need, along with seeing current support levels with any character during any activity requiring the two of them. This feature is a godsend, in particular due to not needing to go back and check which unit is currently at a certain rank, and then back again, like in the food hall in Three Houses. My playthrough lasted over 93 hours, and to be frank, without the support conversations, I feel that number could have been cut by more than half, if I didn't pay attention to grinding for these conversations between my units as much as I possibly can. A buddy of mine in comparison took over 130 hours to complete all paths in the game, so your times may vary depending on how much or little you do in your base. Story-wise, each route felt distinct enough with cool cutscenes, sweet character development with each house leader and more, and each path had enough content to interest me further. However, each route did use a bit of a copy-paste formula, leaving me a sense of samey vibes a bit. But this occurred mainly in the middle ground of each path. The game makes up for this by displaying scenes you wouldn't otherwise see in each route. So if a major event is glossed over in one route, you will see the full extent in another, which makes comparisons between each path easier to conjure the bigger picture. While I do have some reservations about each path, the final act, at least, is a payoff I look forward to. Could it have been better? Certainly. But the game accomplishes this in a manner I find good enough. Overall, I feel Three Hopes is a decent Fire Emblem spin-off. Could be better regarding objectives, AI, and map design. Nonetheless, the excellent support conversations, adequate base building, and character conversations hold the game up strong. The soundtrack is fantastic, and I love the new arrangements and new tracks, especially the leitmotif dropping here and there. I feel the game does justice in some ways to Three Houses, in that if you're looking for more of the world of Fodlan, you'll find that here. Some plot points which were left unanswered back in Three Houses are answered here. So, if you're looking for more Fire Emblem Three Houses content and don't mind the shift to action RPG hack and slash, look no further than Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. I hope you'll like it just as I did. And if not, well, that's fine too. Phew. Glad I finished my second Fire Emblem review on YouTube. I love the series, so I'm looking forward to where it will lead to after Engage. Let me know in the comments what did you like from Three Hopes, or dislike if you want. It'll be interesting to see what everyone's thoughts are. Anyway, that's enough for me. Take care, guys.